Poker is a game of skill, luck, and unforgettable moments. But what happens when players land the ultimate hand? Quads?
He does fold.
Wow!
Let's dive into when poker players get quads. In this clip, Phil Hellmuth hates himself for making the ultimate mistake, bluffing straight into quads.
What the f did I do? He's gonna give you all the money, Phil.
As the action heats up, Phil Hellmuth picks up the 7 and 5 of diamonds, a hand that's far from ideal, but with his experience and confidence, he's ready to make his move. Meanwhile, Wright picks up the Queen of Hearts and Queen of Diamonds, holding a powerful pair of queens.
For Nick Wright. He decides to check back and make quads.
900?
This is poker at its finest. Strategy, deception, and the pressure of making the right decision at the right time. And the tension is about to hit its peak.
To pick up some equity or some back doors and maybe give you a bad beat, but we can't always fear the monsters under the bed. In particular,
5,500.
heads up play. And look at the beauty of the situation that he has created for himself, Maria. Hellmuth zooming.
And this situation created by Nick being so misleading about so many of his hands, saying that he had check raised on a bluff when he had.
Nick had previously check raised as a bluff, making Hellmuth question whether he could trust the moves on the table.
And this is just Hellmuth making the decision that Wright does not have a queen in this spot.
Yeah, and Hellmuth was saying earlier, you know, sometimes you just have to pull the trigger. It's not easy, but he feels it this time. And I think given the way this hand has played out so far, it is hard to put Nick on trip queens. But of course, you know, when you have quads,
even harder to put him there,
Right.
obviously. And I love what Nick is doing here, Maria, really laying it on thick. But it doesn't appear disingenuous at all.
no.
Goes for the tee, uses a time extension, makes the call. Now Hellmuth has bloated this one to 12,500, and that could be an unfortunate card for Nick Wright's action. Though,
Would Phil give Nick credit for having checked back a spade draw on the flop? That's the question Hellmuth must be asking himself right now.
maybe a combo draw, clubs and a straight draw is where Nick finds himself.
7,200.
Hellmuth, not backing down, decides to take control of the hand and bets 7,200. At this point, he's fully committed to his bluff, trying to put pressure on Nick and force him into a tough decision. However, Hellmuth is completely unaware that Nick is sitting on quads.
A big pot there. Headed Nick
Huge.
Wright's way for the
What the
quads.
f did I do? He's gonna give you all the money, Phil. He bets every flop. He raises when he's not supposed to raise before the flop, and you try to bluff him. What are you doing?
Phil Ivey starts with pocket aces, the strongest hand in poker, and expertly sets the trap with a limp. Sam Greenwood, sitting on the nut flush draw, checks back, and that decision sets the stage for an absolutely unforgettable hand.
We got top set against the nut flush draw and a pair.
Action. Top set Ivey, no big deal. What a board though. I mean, I guess for Greenwood, you know, it's a little unlucky. He's got that pair flush draw. He's got to think, you know, against the set, this is like the worst hand he could be against. Even like ace queen, his 8 would be live, but
Right.
or you know, ace jack, he's got the whole shalada. But here, he's really just drawn to that flush. And for Ivey, a bit unlucky. Oh well, that
Wow.
actually now that is that's a sight you'd love to see if you're a Phil Ivey fan.
Both players feel they have the absolute best hand right here.
With that nut flush draw. Remember, in this game, flush beats a house. So you can see Greenwood 0%, but he's going to think he's still doing okay in this
Gotta
one.
love it. Slip some rope, you know, in case some, I mean, just pretty special stuff here. This is, I mean, if a flush runs out, if a club were to come.
And here it is, quads versus the nut flush. The ultimate cooler where neither player is backing down.
Versus nut flush in short deck.
Wow. This is, honestly, I mean, is there any chance it doesn't?
just goes in,
it's
right?
in.
It's
It's
in.
going in. How could it not go in?
If Ivey bets, Sam's going to raise, Ivy's going to jam.
This is insane.
Greenwood is in the tank, running through every possibility. Can Ivey really have a better hand? The nut flush feels unbeatable. But deep down, Greenwood knows this decision could make or break his night.
There's hand combination 1, right? All the other ones are houses.
Right.
But at the same time, yeah, I guess you might think Phil could have a lower flush, but a full.
Right.
You know that a full house doesn't beat.
But you're going to raise up here, and you're going to
Get raised, and you think maybe Phil has like the queen high
but,
or whatever, not a flush. Yeah.
I mean, he's not going to like it when he gets jammed on.
He's probably. I don't even
But you
think
got
he
the king
thinks
flush.
long. Wow.
Obviously, you lose the 10-9 of clubs, and you lose the aces. Those are the 2 hands you can lose to here.
And if you're Phil, you lose.
Same for Phil,
oh,
he
you lose
loses to the 10-9 of clubs and the king 10 of clubs. I mean,
no, king 10 of clubs, right? That's it.
sorry, yeah, king 10 of clubs only.
So there's one hand you lose if you're Phil, and
There's 2 if you're Sam.
yeah. So it's the biggest cooler you'll see, really.
Sam's going to feel sick, but he can't fold.
Quads, have some of that. Phil Ivey drops the hammer with an unstoppable hand, leaving no room for doubt. This pot is his.
Handed 1 versus 2 stack in the biggest cooler you're going to see possible. Unbelievable stuff. I mean, that's great. What a run out. What a hand.
That is ludicrous.
That is absolutely nuts.
Kenny picks up pocket aces, a monster hand, but it's Daniel Negreanu who's about to make a move with pocket threes.
That thought, I mean, BK here with the aces. But just the short answer is no. Of course, I love playing, but I love being in here with you too, pal. I mean, you know, collect the ideas for a few days and just observe the proceedings. It's a nice way to spend an afternoon. Batsy Akuski was with a pretty one next door. Low jack, high jack here. He's just gone. Note the proceedings, collect the ideas. Orpin and Chidwick out.
On the topic of those ideas, how much...
The tension is rising, both players sizing each other up, unaware of the absolute madness that's about to unfold.
Check. Top set against a wheel draw here. We'll get to the question momentarily. In the meantime, one would presume we're going to see some added streets as Kenny flings 5K out there.
Looks like Daniel toying with raise, comes with call. Seemingly prudent.
Neither player with a spade,
Oh,
and the
man.
3 of spades is very bad news for Daniel.
Little does Daniel know, the next card will give him quads, completely changing the hand. At this point, he has no idea that his hand will turn into one of the most powerful in poker.
Great card for Kenny.
Well said, Ali. Indeed does come out swinging. Kenny with a little look back. Goes for call. Oh my God.
Quad 3s, runner, runner. This is a 990 to 1 shot.
This is a game changer. What seemed like a vulnerable hand just turned into a monster. What happens next will blow your mind.
That's going to be it for Sensei Kenny.
Yes.
Granted, quads and a straight flush are available, but we have aces full, Nick.
You know, let's see. Indeed, it does appear to be the end for Sensei Kenny, but let us just observe what a run out this is. Ali, as you said, 990 to 1, some odd.
10 seconds.
Are there worlds in which, given how deep they are, and granted it's a touch premature, we know the
They're
raise is
not
inbound
that-
from Kenny.
They're not that deep, though. It's only 110 BVs to start. Listen, you mentioned the straight flush as well. After the ensuing rejam, I don't think Bryn is going to love it. So there are possibly worlds where you rise up and just say, is he really doing this with a hand worse than aces full? But
Only 97,000 back,
I
though.
think this one is just a wrap for Bryn. My goodness.
Start the bus.
All in.
Raise, all in.
And you see Bryn, he has the aces full. And isn't snap calling because he recognizes it's the third nuts.
I guess I have the third nut.
Oh, there you go, Ali.
Call.
This is disgusting.
Jeez.
GG, sir. Appears that he's covered. I mean,
Sick. So I got 100.
Bryn Kenny by
It's 200.
not a huge margin,
235.
covered by Negreanu. And
Covered by a bunch.
That's sick. What an unbelievable turn of events. This hand is one for the history books. Negreanu's quads against Kenny's full house. Lebedev picks up King-Jack suited, while Wanda's sitting pretty with pocket sixes. Things heat up fast when the flop hits, and we're about to see some serious poker.
Doubled up. He's going to get a free look at the flop, and he takes it.
So antes are 25,000. Ace, ace, six. How about a full house here for Jawanda?
How about the nut flush draw for Lebedev?
Wanda flops a full house, aces full of sixes, while Lebedev's sitting on the nut flush draw. Will he go for the big bet with his draw? Can Wanda hold his ground with that strong hand? The action is getting intense, and this one's definitely going to keep you on the edge of your seat.
Obviously, the probability of someone having an ace is pretty high. Full houses.
Yeah, especially at the final table, you don't want to bleed chips off. You know, he doesn't have a straight draw, at least not yet.
You're more or less bluffing with King Jack there, so it's not really a huge point to bluffing. Taking a stab at this kind of board where people are very rarely going to fold a better hand.
Yeah, maybe you get like, you know, pocket eights to fold or something. You know, some garbage hand like that.
A6 to fold.
Right, but I kind of like just
Not
he's gonna
A6, sorry,
he's gonna play this
A6.
aggressively in a limped pot.
Of course, there are two ways to play that. Lebedev could have folded, but he decides to stick around and play aggressively with his King-Jack suited. It's a high-risk, high-reward move, and now he's walking straight into Wanda's full house. How will this all play out?
Into Jawanda, though. Jawanda's probably not too upset at that raise.
Well, that changes things for sure.
That is interesting. Man, it might be that Jawanda simply does not want to believe that he has an ace now.
For sure.
Even though it flip-flops Jawanda's hand and makes it a little weaker, aces full of sixes as opposed to sixes full of aces.
The issue with this, of course, even if you don't believe that your opponent has an ace, which he doesn't in this case, he probably has diamonds, and obviously he's got the overs to the six, so his equity goes up dramatically. Very difficult to bet here if you're Lebedev, because you're like, well, my opponent could just have an ace here.
Jawanda not slowing down at all.
Well, look at that bet. That's like, please call me, bet. Please call me. Don't go anywhere.
It looks...
Would Wanda really bet an ace here? This small bet seems like a trap. Is Lebedev walking right into it?
Man, Lebedev makes the call. It'll really get interesting if a diamond, a king, or a jack come off.
Oh, my goodness.
So we could theoretically have a quads over quads situation. We don't.
I know. I got real excited because I see quads. I
Right
just
now.
love seeing people make quads. Obviously, there is not a lot of bloodshed we could see here unless Lebedev loses his mind.
Well, Lebedev just might think the board plays.
I mean, he's got aces full of sixes. Could Lebedev be walking into a trap here?
Is if Lebedev, he only bet 200,000, but if Lebedev were to bet like a ridiculous amount on the river, you could argue that pocket sixes, quad sixes, is just a bluff catcher.
Right. It is a bluff catcher.
In this case, the bet is so small
It's
that
barely a bluff.
Lebedev could have very easily limped in with a hand as good as queens, even kings, to be honest. I mean, just
Wow, this is such a sick hand.
Yeah. That's just he said it best right there. I don't think he's folding ever. I mean, he's getting 5 to 1. He has
Right.
quads.
But
I also don't think he's raising.
The fact that you can have quads and you seriously have to consider whether or not it's the best hand is a sick hand. He does fold.
Wow! He just folded quads.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
All the 2 6s?
Yeah.
Really?
What?
Oh man.